two, one.
Hi, this is Craig Proctor, and welcome to the Craig Proctor Real Estate Show. Today, I've got my good friend and superstar realtor from the Montreal area, Mr. Francois Mackay. Francois, how are you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic, Craig. Thank you very much. How are you doing?
Hey, I'm always great when I talk to you. You know, you're just a good guy, super successful. You've been with me at Craig Proctor Coaching for how many years now?
Craig, I've been with you since 2006, but I actually met you through an ad in the REM newspaper that said, make a cold call, pay a fine. And that
got your attention.
That got my attention because you were saying, are you guys tired of being rejected all day long? Like people and chasing buyers and sellers? Wouldn't you prefer them to call you instead? I was like, oh my God, that's what I need. That's what I need.
This Craig Proctor is talking my language. Now, what we're going to talk about today is how to build your team. Now, the interesting thing is, and we were reminiscing before we got started, is you actually built a successful team, took a step backwards, and had to rebuild the team again. And we were joking around. I'd say there's not too many realtors that build a successful team and then have to start all over again. So we're going to talk about the fact that once you know how to do this, you can build it and rebuild it. And if you had to rebuild it again in any marketplace, you would know how to do that because now you understand the process. Exactly.
Yeah.
So, okay. So talk about your team now. In other words, why people should listen to you. Then we're going to go back to the start of this because you're so successful. You know, some realtors watching this might think, well, this is something that Francois can do, or Montreal is different than my marketplace. You know, when you came to see me in Toronto, the realtors in Montreal said, well, you know, he's from Toronto. Montreal is different. This will never work. Tell us about what your success looks like right now, and then we'll back up the bus and we'll go from the beginning.
Okay, no problem. Well, Craig, really, I'm really grateful now today. Right now, we're 75 agents in my real estate agency, and we're growing. It's amazing. Right now, the momentum is super good. We have 14 ISAs that I now call ambassadors. So
the 14 ISAs, are they part of the 75?
Nope.
Okay, so you've got 75 outside sales agents.
Right.
That get the buyer and seller appointments, and you've got 14 inside sales?
Okay, I'm just gonna break it down because actually within my 75 agents, okay, I got about 40 that are on my personal team and 35 that are independent agents.
Okay, cool. So does everybody get that? So Francois has a team where he feeds them the leads and they're part of his team. And then he has agents that work for his company that aren't necessarily part of his team. They're just independent agents.
Exactly. Yes, that's right.
Okay. So when you started, go ahead.
Now the ambassadors, out of the 14, actually 12 of them, I think 12 of them are future real estate agents.
Cool. Okay.
They're in school because in Montreal, to become a real estate agent in Quebec, actually, it's going to take between 6 months and a year, depending on your pace and if you're doing it full time or part time. So it takes a lot of time. The fastest you could do it is in 6 months. So during that 6 months or a year period, they work as ISAs here.
Okay. So they can do that while they're taking their license. It takes whatever, a year to get it.
Yeah.
They can work part-time as ambassadors or inside sales. So it's almost like an apprenticeship.
Exactly. Yeah. That's what I put together in the past, I would say 24 months. And it's been working super well. And we got about 8 person in the administration as a listing coordinator, sales coordinator, front desk receptionist, marketing person, and so on.
Okay, so you've got this large team. So tell us this: why should a real estate agent in the Montreal area, why should they team up with you versus teaming up with another agent or just continuing to work as a solo agent?
Okay, the reason why they should come with us is because we are super organized. And that's one thing that I see people actually, I had this lady, she wanted to come with me. And so she's studying, and she was supposed to start as an ISA in June. Finally, she calls me and she says, François, you know what? I decided to go with a smaller team because, you know, it's going to be more personal and more, and I think it fits me better and suits me better and everything. So I'm like, okay. So she did a month and a half there, and she called me. She says, I made a huge mistake. Can I come back? And so she came back, and she said, you know what? She says that team looked good, but they were not organized. They didn't have any lead generation system. So basically, we were just doing cold call for him. So this guy, and you know, there's a lot of teams like that they team up, and what they're doing is calling for sell by owners.
Right. So this real estate agent could do that on her own. You don't need to join a team to make cold calls. You can do that as a solo agent. Okay. Absolutely. So if I was to come and join your team, right? You're generating the leads, but more than the leads, you're actually giving me appointments, right? The leads are going to your inside sales agents, and I'm just going to meet with the buyers and sellers all day.
Absolutely. So you're going to meet with buyers and sellers all day, and you have a team of administrative staff to help you do everything. So in our team, what we say is that every task that does not require a real estate license should be done by someone that does not have a real estate license. So meaning that the agent will just focus on speaking with buyers and sellers, presenting our buyers and seller presentation, getting them, converting them into clients, and servicing them so that they can buy or sell their home. So that's the only thing they focus on right now. Actually, right now, as we speak, I just step out of my Tuesday meeting, and that's very, very rare because this is our team meeting today. So now I have two of my coaches. So I named two people to take over, two of my coaches that are coaching our newer agent, and they're taking over in the team. So that's very important for us to be super structured and to have and to be sure that they always have the coaching and the support and the training to make sure that they perform as much as they can.
Okay, so there's a couple of huge benefits to join up with you. I mean, the biggest benefit, of course, is a real estate agent in Montreal, in most cases, would make way more money net in their pocket because you cover all the advertising. They'll go out on more appointments. They'll do more business.
Yeah, there's no fees there. You know, we pay for everything. So basically, they reverse the risk. You know, I take all the risk by spending the money on marketing. And in today's market, you know, the cost of acquiring sellers, it's much higher, as we know, because it's a seller's market. So it's very difficult. And plus, we got the best teaching with you, the Craig Proctor system, Platinum Group. So we're getting the best coaching because we share a lot, right? So we've come up with, like, our agents, Craig, are actually closing, you know, they're making promises to purchase on houses, and they're getting, let's say, 2 out of 3 or 4 accepted, while most agents, they get 1 out of 10 accepted because of multiple offer situation. Now we got tools to win in multiple offers. So our agent can benefit from that and have better results.
Okay, so not only are the outside sales agents getting a steady stream of appointments, the coaching and training, like I coached and trained you, and now you just take that same coaching and training that I gave to you, and you do this on a regular basis, like every week. You're training them so they're more productive, and when they make more money, of course, you make more money. So the training and the culture in the business is very important.
Absolutely. So we got our Tuesday meeting that, like I said, I just stepped out. This is going every week. We got our Thursday role play. So in 2007, I started to attend your role play on Thursday at 11. So with you and James McDonald. So and since 2007, I've been doing the role play at 11. The only thing I did is now I kind of reduced your airtime and with the team, and now I'm doing my own role plays with our teams, and we're going till 12:30 now. But 11 to 12:30 every Thursday in the team, we practice the scripts. We basically have 2 scripts: universal callback script and the sign call script. So that's the 2 scripts that we practice. And
just over and over again. So
over and over.
The listing presentation, the buyer presentation, scripts and dialogues. You're just training basically the same material over and over again.
This afternoon at 3 o'clock, I'm doing the buyer presentation. I'm doing the buyer presentation both in French and in English every month for our staff and for our agents. So every month I do the seller and the buyer presentation, both in French and in English, so that our agent can come back. And, you know, sometimes I remember seeing you do it. Well, I saw you do it plenty of times. And every time I saw you another time do it, there's something that I got that I didn't get the first time. And
Right.
there's something that is like, okay, so, oh, okay, this slide, he does it like that. This, he does, you know, so it's very good to go back and see.
Yeah, the repetition is very important. Okay, so how do you recruit the agents now? Are most of them at this point, because you're so successful, are real estate agents basically just calling you, or do you still have to do advertising or make outbound phone calls to agents that you want to recruit?
Okay, so yeah, I'm not that successful. I still have to do the job.
You still have to, so that it's not just like, I just want to make this clear. It's you
Yeah.
still have to work at it. It's not like, oh, great agents are calling you every day,
No,
wanting to come over. You have a system to actually recruit them. You got a system, once you onboard them, very specific things happen to make sure they're successful. But let's
Right.
talk about who are you after? First of all, you're not after just any agent. You're after a specific type of real estate agent. And how do you attract them? How do you get them interested in having a conversation with you about joining your team?
okay. So in many ways. So first of all, so what we've seen, and Groupe Mackay is starting to be really renowned in Montreal for a great learning center. Great training, coaching, support, and right now we're very grateful that there's teachers in real estate schools that are telling their students that they should go to Groupe Mackay because they'll have the support that they need and the coaching that they need. So that's good. So I'm getting more invitation to participate in what they call career day in real estate schools. It used to be face-to-face where we would go and
Right.
do a presentation. Now it's mostly on Zoom, but we still do presentation like that on Zoom about our company and about what we can offer and the benefits of agents to join us. So I try to go on as many school presentations as I can. And of course, being an independent real estate agency, I got to make a better contact with the people managing the courses there. Remax would get an invitation like that.
Right,
But
right.
as an independent real estate agency, I got to,
You
find
gotta
my
step
way
it up.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I do that. That I like because, you know what, Craig, when I had to rebuild my team, we talked a bit about that and we're going to get back to that. But when I had to rebuild my team, when I first started to do it, I said, I was so mad at what had just happened, that I crashed. And
Right.
so I was so mad. I was
Yeah,
like,
so everybody keep watching because he sounds really successful and super smart, but he's going to tell you in a few minutes that he made a mistake and he had to rebuild his team over again. So don't get anywhere. Plus, also at the end of our interview, François has put together a PowerPoint presentation. So don't go anywhere because we're going to give you a link so you can download it. Very quickly, what is in this bonus gift that you prepared for everybody that they'll receive at the end of our interview?
okay, so what I've prepared is actually everything that I could think about in order to recruit agents. So I've put down all my ads that I use to attract people to either because we do open house event here. Okay, so our open house event is kind of behind the scene. So they come to the office, we do a presentation. So I put all the recruiting ads on there, all the online, offline marketing that you can do. Every technique that I learned in the Craig Proctor system by sharing also with a lot of Titanium members, everything that I learned, I put it in this presentation.
It's really good, folks. You should check it out. We'll have a link in the comments below when we're done.
Yeah,
but it's
now
really
my
good.
staff uses that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's really good. So when I rebuilt it the first time, when I rebuilt my business back in 2017, I was so mad, like I was saying, that I wanted to run really, really fast. And I said, I'm gonna hire a lot of experienced agent. It's going to be just easier. But what I found, and a lot of people feel that way, but for me, it didn't work out as.
And why is that? Why did you decide to go after newer agents versus experienced?
So, the experience, no, I wanted to go after experienced agent at first, but after that, I found that it was for me, it was not working. So I changed. I went to newer agent. The reason is because the experienced agent, when they came to my team, I felt that the reason why maybe I didn't make good choices, but the reason why they were coming is that they were not successful anymore. They had been successful, not successful, and thinking that maybe by getting the appointments, because a lot of people will tell us, hey, on the phone, I'm not that good, but put me face to face.
Put me face to face, and I'm a killer. Yeah, exactly.
I'm a killer. Yeah. And now I tell them, if you're not good on the phone, no.
Okay, so that's an important observation. Everybody get that? So you found with the experienced realtors that the kind that you were attracting were kind of failing at real estate, and they were looking to you maybe
an easy way out. Yeah.
Right. So they weren't maybe as skilled. Where you're like almost a professional sports team now, where you're drafting. You're drafting these superstars before they even know they're superstars.
That's it.
Okay, so you're grooming. You've got these draft picks that you're grooming and training. Now it's more work, obviously, to start with somebody from scratch. So a lot of teams, a lot of team leaders would think, well, I'll go after experienced realtors because it's easier. I don't have to teach them how to fill out all the paperwork. So it's interesting that you tried that first, like most team leaders do. And now you've made this decision that, hey, I need to be about education, getting in the door with these new agents, and then cherry picking the best agents that are brand new, and then molding them and training them to become superstars.
Exactly. Absolutely. And Craig, that's the best decision I've ever made. I tried it for a year and a half around, until 2019. And since 2019, I said, okay, so I took a look at what I was doing. I was going up and down, recruiting to losing agents. And I was like, okay.
Now that is exhausting, isn't it? It's kind of demoralizing. How many of you can relate to that? So Francois, I had a large team, as you know, as well. And so you recruit and you spend all this time with realtors. You might spend weeks or months or years even with them. And then they say to you, hey, Francois, you got 5 minutes, and they leave. And you're like, oh my God. And then you're starting over again, right? You spend weeks or months with them, and then they're like, you got 5 minutes. I'm out of here. So it was this roller coaster.
Oh yeah, it went down like that, and roller coaster, a lot of emotion, like you just mentioned. That was like, like some people, I was like, oh my God, I'm making them a superstar there, and after that, I'm leaving. Yeah. What's happening with you? So it was very frustrating, and at one point, I'm like, okay, so what did I do the first time that made me successful? The first time before my crash. So I said, well, most people, they were brand new agent. And I really, from the first day, taught them my way of doing things, which is the Craig Proctor way of doing things. So I said, and they followed me and they grew with me, and it worked out really well until I crashed. So I said, let's.
You keep talking about until I crash. So we're going to have to at some point talk about his fatal mistake, the crash. How many of you want to stay tuned? You want to just hear about the crash? But that's interesting. So when you built your team your first time,
right?
You remembered, back then I wasn't going after experienced agents. I was going after brand new agents.
Yeah. And one of my agent told me, that's still with me, he said, François, he said, remember back in the days, first of all, your office was with our office. So we had all open office, right? So they could hear me talk all day long, which was very good for training because, and if I heard them say something, I would say, hey, sorry, did you say, and you should have said that. So it was very good because it was training all day. He says, now you're in your closed office. We don't see you. You don't come to, you do the Tuesday meeting, but you don't come like you used to come with us on visit. You used to come with us to see sellers and buyers. So he's like, you should go back,
Interesting. So your team was getting more of you, and then as it grew, you were in a different part of the office. You weren't as exposed to them. They didn't get as much exposure from you.
Exactly.
Okay, so it takes another one of your agents to say, hey, you know how to do this. Remember this is how you used to do it, and you're thinking, this guy's right.
Exactly.
Right? I did know how to do it, so you decided maybe I should go back and do that.
Exactly. And I said, and at first I was like, yeah, I could, but I thought like, oh, it's a step back. And that's like, in my mind, I'm like, but okay, I have to do it. Let's do it. So I started to tell my agents, okay, so your next listing appointment, I'm going with you. Your next buyer appointment. So I'm restarting the buyer appointment. I'm going to do it with all the new agents. So I restarted to do a buyer appointment, and I still was pretty good. And now like buyer contract, 90% of the time I get them signed. Listings, like this year I've done many listings, and a week and a half ago 6.25%. 2 months ago to 7%. I'm getting half, maybe more, a bit more than half my listings between 6 and 7% still, while everyone in Quebec thinks that's 4. But my agents are like, yeah, that was easy. Well, maybe we got lucky. Well, I said I cannot get lucky every time.
Right.
It's just that we're following.
So you're back to leading by example, which is important, right? Which is what you used to do, right? So everybody, all the rainmakers out there understand that what happened is Francois becomes successful. He isolates himself. He's in the ivory tower. He's not interacting with the agents. And now you're back out on the street. You're going out on buyer appointments and listing appointments. Your office is right there. You're hearing what they're saying. They're hearing what you're saying. They're shadowing you. So right back to what used to work. And now tell us, why did you have to rebuild your team?
Okay.
What happened? So you're successful. How did you screw this up? You're successful? Everything's going great. And now you've had to rebuild it, and you started to rebuild it, doing it a different way.
Yeah. But before I say that, I just want to touch just a little bit on the way I built it the first time.
Okay.
Because just to keep the suspense. No. No. But so just to say, because for the people out there, platinum students out there, coaching members, when I first started, and I would sing you on stage, and my first super conference in Chicago, 2006. I was in the back of the room, actually almost hiding behind the curtains. So it just in case you would ask me to go on stage, I was like, I'm going to be like, cannot speak in English and not on stage with Craig. So that was the first super conference in 2006. And there, and I keep saying that to agents that I meet, is that there's things you don't know until you paid for it, or you've been curious enough to try to find something. So after 10 years in real estate, I thought I was good until I saw you, and I saw that real estate conference where you told us our marketing sucks. You don't know USP, no call to action. You were doing pay-per-click, which is now AdWords, back in 2006, while no one was doing that, telling us you guys can attract buyers without having any listing. Do you know, Craig, that right now, most of the agents in Quebec thinks that they need a listing to attract a buyer. And you taught us that in 2006. I was like, wow, how come no one told me that in 10 years? I've been a real estate agent for 10 years. I'm one of the best in Quebec, and no one has told me that. And you're telling us that like that. I'm like, oh my God. Okay. So that was very, very good. So of course, in 2006, when I met you, I had 3 agents on my team. So that was the end of 2006. 2007, I'm starting the coaching program. By 2009, I tripled my business with 9 agents. So, and opening my own real estate agency, Groupe Mackay, in 2010. So I'm like, whoa, this thing is going super well, like because of Craig, the coaching program, things are moving, because now I can generate as many leads as I want. And, and I just have to, right now, today, like, hey, how many leads? Okay, we need more leads. Ba-bam, boom, it's done.
Right, you know how to do it. You can turn up the lead generation, turn it up and down like the temperature control on your house. You want more, You know how to do it.
Exactly. Well, we got. I do it on my phone at night. So but it's super fun. But now, 2010, opening the real estate agency, things are growing. But at one point, I met Todd as well. Like I moved
platinum
on,
coach,
platinum coach,
Proctor, right? Todd Walters.
Yeah, and Todd was like, you had featured Todd in one of the monthly magazine, monthly newsletter. I think you had featured Todd saying, like I think Craig Proctor on steroids or something, and Todd has his Hummer back then. It was with, you know,
His big Hummer H2, yeah.
H2, there you go. So that was cool. And I was like, and Todd had like 20 agents. I'm like, 20 agents? Oh my God, I got to go there. So I got to do that. So I was like building, but slowly. Like I was like doing one step at a time, because some people now, they see it like, wow, okay, but it didn't happen like that, you know. Like the big boost was the Craig Proctor conference. That was like the quantum leap was there when I met you. Before I was just,
and you really said you had to set your ego aside, because you were pretty successful at the time, right? You know, based on all the agents in your marketplace, and so you were just going to sit in the corner at the back, and then you realized, hey, maybe there's more to this than what I'm doing. And the next day, you're in the front row.
Exactly.
And you've been in the front row ever since for the last 15 years.
Exactly. Absolutely. And, you know, a few years later, you called me and you said, hey, you want to help out in Quebec and, you know, coach some people.
Right.
And you remember you came in 2012 to do at the Marriott Chateau Champlain in Montreal. You did your first conference there. We had over 300 people that came. And I was the first time I spent all day on stage with you. I was like, you know, I was in the back of the room in 2007. 5 years later, I'm on stage with Craig. You know, that's a big achievement for me. And it was like, you know, just doing public speaking, speaking in front of a crowd. It's, you know, so things change. And I tell people now, I tell them that story, and I tell them, you know, it could be you, you know, that could happen to you. It could happen to any one of us, right? So you never know in life what's going to happen when you meet the right people, and you have the right associations.
Yeah, and the right attitude. Yeah, very important.
Craig Proctor people are all the members are fantastic people, and it's because of you, because you're at the top, and you share so much. And I always felt like you were a brother, you know, like you're super, you know, easygoing, always smiling, always, and you're natural. So anyway, so that's been very, very good. So I was building the business 2012, and you with your support, and you know, I was like, wow, you know, so I felt very comfortable to continue the growth, but we were doing it one step at a time, you know, so it was not, I wanted to achieve 20 agents. That was my first initial goal. And after that, it was like 30, 40. And so now we're in 2015, and actually in 2014, we just hit 450 cells in our team. And like, that was like probably the biggest number one team in Quebec at 450. And I'm like, wow, you know, like, this is awesome. So this is amazing. And at that point, I want to open more office. Gatineau, Quebec City, I just signed a lease. I was opening.
So everything is going great. 450 transactions. And now you're thinking, I'm going to expand all over Quebec.
Absolutely.
I know how to do this now. It's bigger. Every year has been bigger and better than the year before. Exactly. And your mindset is, nothing can stop me now.
Nothing can stop me. It's impossible. Not possible. So I'm like, you know, and now, you know, you're like, you're the shit. I'm like, okay. So now.
And you were, right. Okay, so you've created the suspense. Everything's getting better. Now what happens?
Okay, so now I'm and actually there's a company named Dominion Lending. Okay, they're mortgage brokers. I just signed for that. Just signed the contract. December 2015. December 2015, I signed a contract in Quebec City for a big commercial space, a new construction. I'm like, oh my God, okay, let's do it. I signed that. We're going to open that in Quebec. We got 5 brokers. We're going to be 20 and soon. So now I get a call from the owner of Sutton, Quebec. And he tells me, you know, because I was with Sutton for 6 years, and he calls me and he says, you know, let's meet. You know.
So this is, you used to work for Sutton Group Realty.
Yeah.
So this is the guy that owns the franchise for all of Quebec.
Exactly. Master franchisor. Yeah.
Okay. So he's a big deal. He owns all of Quebec. How many agents would he have working for him?
Well, he's got 1,400 agents.
Okay. So now people are starting to notice you. You're arguably the most successful realtor in all of the province of Quebec here in Canada. And so why is he calling you? What's he want?
So he tells me, he says, you know, Sutton, we're we're looking for leadership. We have 2 of our franchise that we took over, the company took over. We took over and we're managing for the last 24 months because the owner like screwed it, but it was pretty big. But now, so we're managing it. So we have 250 agents that needs a leader. And you're doing well with Groupe Mackay, but you're a small independent company, but it's okay. But if you come with us, you join your 50 age, because now at that point I have 50 agents. So you join your 50 agents. So first of all, we'll cover all this territory. So it's going to be Sutton from there to there. So no more Remax, no more anyone else. So it's going to be us. Right. And after that, you're going to have Laval, the other part of it. So, and you're going to be like the largest franchise owner.
So this appealed to your ego. You're like, oh my God, here's this big franchise, right? And you're going to be part of this. You take your 50 agents, join with our 250. You're going to be like the team leader.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm like, okay. And he's like, and you're going to be making millions. And, and he's like, you're not making enough money right now. So he's like, you should be making more money at your age. I'm like, okay. So
you're listening. You're like, yeah, you're right. I should be. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So what happened is that, I had this first meeting. I said, I'm going to think about it. I said, I'd like to see the numbers. When their numbers were not too cleared, I asked for a third meeting, saw the vice president and everything. And finally I said, okay. I thought in my mind, like, okay, everything I touch turns into success. Everything's doing well. So
you thought I'm unstoppable. This will work just like everything else. Right.
Maybe that's, my destiny. So I said, okay, let's do it.
Right.
So we do it. That's February 2016. We start, it's going super well. There's the launch, there's the big party. Like I did a big speech on the stage, a lot of people, and everything's going well. They're taking charge of the accounting side of the business. I'm teaching and recruiting. And now I got large rooms of people, like 50, 60 people listening to me. I'm like, so now I'm all happy teaching my stuff to agents that are like, God, I never learned that. When you teach a Proctor program to some people by presentation, seller presentation, they're all like, wow, that's amazing. So I was having a lot of fun, and I'm like coaching and doing plenty of meetings, and I'm happy. I'm super happy. Everything's going well. And after 2 months and a half, I'm like, hey, listen, concerning the money part, I said, are you like, you want me to bill you? How do we yeah, we got some issues with the money. I'm like, what issues? Well, Hydro Quebec, we didn't, the last owner didn't pay his bill there. And, we owe like $56,000. So, you'll have to wait a bit. Yeah. Like, what? Wait. Well, my 50 agents are paying like, like that.
So your agents are paying them. They're not waiting.
No,
but they're not waiting. So now they're stalling you out. You're not getting paid.
Yeah. So long story short, I don't want to get into all the details because I'm probably going to get a lawyer's letter soon. So basically, they did not pay me.
How long did this go on for you basically coaching your agents for free?
September, February till September. I was like in August, I flipped, because I'm like, whoa, I'm teaching people to make hundreds of thousands of dollars, and I'm making zero. That's not. And my team in Quebec, in Groupe Mackay was back as a team in Sutton, but my team was falling apart so fast. It was like I couldn't imagine. Like it was the party year. It was like no one was doing it.
So you were distracted teaching all of their agents and not spending time with yours. Okay, so this goes on from, you do this deal in February. By like August, September, you realize I'm never going to get paid from this. And your team that you built before you joined up with them had completely kind of fallen apart.
Exactly.
So what are you thinking at this point, Francois?
I'm like, I can't believe that. I can't believe this is happening. I was like, this is a nightmare. This is a huge nightmare. Now I'm losing money at Groupe Mackay. I didn't make a penny. And I'm like, okay, this is not happening. And I'm getting divorced at the same time. Right. So
you're going through a divorce.
Going through a divorce.
So things are heavy. Like business is falling apart. You made this decision.
It's like the money's going everywhere. It's like boom, boom, boom. Like shit. And the money. I'm at this point. I thought I'm unstoppable. And when I decide to when we didn't get, I said, they said, what's your problem? Like, my problem, I was supposed to get like minimum $700,000 this year.
Right.
I got zero in 6 months. So that's not working out.
That's a problem, right?
That's a big problem. And I'm starting to lose money at my other company. So I said, it's either you give me a check. I need 180. I think I said I need a check of $180,000 on my desk Monday, or I'm not taking the plane to your conference in Orlando, in Miami. I'm not going there. And if there's no check, I'm not leaving, and I'm quitting, and that's it. So I quit, and they filed. They called an injection against the
injunction.
Injunction. Yeah.
Yes.
So they said that this office here was a Sutton office, and that it cannot be. It was there. It
cannot be used. Yeah, it cannot be used for anything else. Right.
Yeah. So I was like, what the fuck? That's my building. So anyway, I had to hire lawyers. So it cost me $105,000 of lawyers. Okay, and I lost.
So not only did you not get paid.
No.
Not only did your team fall apart while this is going on, now you're going to spend $100,000 on lawyers to try to get out of this mistake.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Plus, I came in negative 250 that year with my team.
I think this is really good for people to hear, because as smart and ambitious and successful as you were and are today, bad things can happen, right? So everything was going well. And I believe I told you not to do that. I believe I told you, I just want to remind you, I believe you asked me my advice. And
I think you did.
I do recall saying, I don't like it, don't do it. But anyway.
I know you didn't like the guy.
Yeah. Okay. So now how do you rebound from this, right? How do you rebound? So you've got these glory days, we heard about what happened, and now you're kind of down and out.
Resilience. So, so I had to be resilient. I couldn't believe it was happening. So when it finished, and I was saying, I'm going to rebuild. I'm going to, that's not happening. I'm going back. I couldn't figure in my mind that I had dropped that much, and that I was losing all that money, and I was, paying everyone. And now I was losing everything that I had gained in my life. Like, I lost 2 years in a row, 250 with Groupe Mackay. Plus, it cost me a total of like 135 with the lawyers and the settlement.
So you're fighting with this Sutton Group broker, and you're getting a divorce at the same time.
Yeah. So that cost me a lot of money too. Anyway, so now we're June 2017. So a year and a half later, now I can reopen Groupe Mackay, and I do it. So June 2017, like 4 years ago, I reopened with 12 brokers, because now I've lost a lot.
And were you more motivated at that point? Do you think, so you know how to build a team, and you were like, okay, that's behind me now. Were you even more determined to be successfgoing at that point? What was
absolutely?
What were you thinking?
I was. I'm like, I'm not throwing the towel, and I'm gonna rebuild this, and I'm gonna do it. That's why I went to experienced agents, because I was like, I'm gonna rebuild it really fast. So I was trying everything that I could do. I was putting all my staff calling agents to meet with me. Like, all my ISAs, I said, you're not calling leads anymore. You're calling agents.
Okay, so the inside sales agents, you said, don't stop calling the buyers and sellers. Call other agents.
Call agents.
Right, and you thought the experienced agents, you could bring them on faster, right? Because they know what they're doing, they're experienced. So the fastest way to grow this and start making money is to go with the experienced agents. And you found out actually they would come and go, and you were getting a lot of experienced agents that were coming to you for the wrong reason. They were coming to you because they were struggling in real estate, and maybe real estate wasn't their thing, right? There was a reason why they were coming to you, and it wasn't the right reason. Absolutely.
But I was very determined to bounce back. And what was really, really funny, and I'm telling it to you now, and I don't know, people watching, but one good thing that I had is that people did not know what I was going through. And people always thought I was super successful. So people kept on telling me, like, you're super rich and everything. I'm like, who thinks I'm so much money? You can't imagine. Like, this is not fun.
Right. So on the outside, you're still confident, and everyone knows you as super successful. But on the inside, you're like, this really needs to work.
Yeah, absolutely. This was awful. Even at some point, I was like, shit. I don't want to tell people. I don't want people to be like. But at the same point, I was feeling a bit like the imposter, because I'm like, things are not going. Yes, things are. I was making like 2-3 million a year, losing 2-3 million. So it's just that now my business, I was used to, let's say, managing a big business. So we had a lot of revenues and a lot of expenses.
Right.
When the revenues went down, we kept the expenses high, and that was the problem. So how can we used to have like let's say one sales manager for 50 sales. Now we need like 2 for 50. How come we need more people to do less transaction? So I had to reorganize and restructure. So that was a bit hard, but anyways, so that's passed, that's done. I think being positive and having the right association. I kept going on to the Craig Proctor conferences. I kept doing the same thing as I was doing, and even getting more, because one thing that we know is that if we get disconnected from the program, from the people that are like-minded, and we isolate ourselves, for sure we're going to go down. So
how important has that been, the Craig Proctor system members that you associate? You've become very good friends with them now. Yeah. And they've gone through, I mean, you're talking to them on a regular basis. So you've got these, you've got these peers that very well, these friends that that are in the Craig Proctor system, that have been through all these things before, and they're super successful, and you can pick up the phone at any time to exchange ideas. So that positive association, you never left that. You've never left that in 15 years. In fact, I think you engaged more in our network when you started to go through that difficult period.
Absolutely. That made a big difference for me, because at one point I was like, okay, should I still go see people that should I still? But I said, yes, I want to be surrounded by people that are successful. And now I just need to get reorganized and bounce back. And that's what I did by speaking with you, with Todd, with Sarah Reynolds, Jim, James, all Tracy, all the guys, Rudy, I could name them all, Marnie. So anyway, so everyone. So there's so many people in the program that I'm friends with now, that when we go to conferences, we connect. I have to say that the past year and a half with the COVID was not as easy for everyone, because it's like a Zoom connection like this. But I'm very happy to go back to the next conference in October in a few weeks to see all the people again. And yes, to be associated with those people helped me go through that hard time. And to see them, because I'm pretty competitive, and I was like, I should have been there.
That's an important part. I mean, our members, our top members, are very competitive, and the fact that you see some of our members doing more and expanding. I mean, I know that drives your personality, and you really want to hang around with people that are doing more than you. What's your vision now? Okay, so now you're back on top of the world again. One of the top realtors in Montreal and all of Quebec and all of Canada, for that matter. Where do you want to take this thing over the next year or so? What are you building towards?
Okay, so first of all, remember I told you when you asked me how much Sutton have agents, I told you they have 1,400 agents. Mm-hmm. I want to get to 1,500.
You want to have more agents than that? Okay. Be competitive.
Okay. So that's my goal. I want to beat them. Okay, right. So I'm going to 1,500 agents. I'm getting them down. I'm going up, rising above them. So that's one of my main goals. Okay, is to surpass Sutton Group. So, but right now, by the end of the year, we're going to finish. We're doing a lot right now to expand the team. Like we're recruiting staff members, ambassadors, agents. So we want to make sure we're going to be at 100 by the end of this year. And our goal is to double to 200 by the end of 2022 with 2,000 transactions. So that's our goal for the next
2,000 transactions.
Right, 2,000 transactions. So that's
okay. Write that down, everybody. You heard that correctly. We'll keep his feet to the fire here. 2,000 transactions. Hey, what advice? I hope everyone's enjoyed this. By the way, this is Francois Mackay, one of the top agents in Montreal and Canada, for that matter. Goal is 2,000 transactions. What advice would you give realtors, team leaders, who are setting out on this journey? Maybe they already have a small team, or maybe they're a solo agent and they're thinking, you know what, maybe I'm getting tired of working 7 days a week. Maybe I want to be like this Francois guy. He's got goals. He's a super nice, outgoing person. I can do this if Francois can do this. What advice would you give realtors on if you were starting all over again, what you've learned and how you could make this happen faster?
Vision.
Yeah.
Clear vision. I think we talk a lot about that with the team leaders in Titanium and with you. So vision is very, very important to set a clear plan.
So how do you do that? How do you set your vision? What do you mean by?
Well, I have an organizational chart that I do. Okay, so that I like that because I can see my big pictures.
Right.
How many people should I have on my team in my real estate agency?
Right, because I think it's really important when people say vision, people think it's in your head, but you actually have it on a whiteboard. It's like you can see your vision. You got to get the vision out of your head and down on a piece of paper or a whiteboard.
Absolutely.
So you can see it every day. Absolutely.
That's been actually, and I want to thank Sarah Reynolds for that, because she's the first one that I saw do it. And I copied that because as people might know, we copy until we succeed. And that's been like what you've been teaching. And so we're always sharing things. And I copied from her our organizational chart, and I did mine and like 3 years ago. And when I was going through that and was rebuilding, I said, okay, like what's the vision? So we were going to do this and that, how many sales, how many. So I really wrote down everything and broke it down. And,
and everybody, Sarah Reynolds is the number 1 or 2 Keller Williams agent in the world. I've been coaching her since 2009. I think she did like $14 million in GCI, over 1,000 transactions. So Francois sees that. He goes, well, if Sarah can do it, I can do it. And,
of course.
And we have hundreds of agents making millions of dollars a year. I mean, we really have more millionaire agents than any other coach or trainer within the Craig Proctor system here. This is where the millionaire agents hang out. Now, we're going to talk about this bonus gift that you've created and remind everybody how to get it at the end. But if you've liked our interview today, let us know in the comments what you enjoyed about this. Let us know that you enjoyed our conversation. And if you would like to book a free call with me and my team, you can do that by just going to proctorcall.com. So my name, proctorcall.com. We'll have a link below in the comments. And how that works is we call it a breakthrough call. We can jump on, spend an hour with my team and I, and we basically talk about where you are in your business, where you want to go, and we give you our advice on how to do it, right? And at the end of the hour, if you like what we have to say, you might decide that you want to work with us, but there's no pressure. It's not a sales pitch in any way. But if you're impressed by what we have to say and what you've learned on this call, by all means, we'd love you to have you as a client. And if not, if you don't feel it's the right thing for you, no downside. At least we've had a great 1 hour conversation, and I've helped you identify maybe some of the obstacles in your business and give you some great ideas on different things that you can do so you can do better, make more money in less time and have more freedom in your life. So again, that link will be below. It's proctorcall.com. It'll take you to my acuity date timer. Just pick a day and time, and we'll jump on a Zoom call. Okay, so tell us what you prepared for everybody again, in case they joined us a bit late. We're going to have a link below, and it's really everything that a team leader knows about how to recruit, hire, train, and manage their team. It's quite an extensive PowerPoint presentation, and there's a video as well.
Right, absolutely. So yeah, so I put down everything. Actually, Craig, got to say that I did that for one of the conferences. Like a year and a half ago when we just before we ended, I was speaking at one of your conferences, and I had started to put like my thoughts together. So
that's cool. So understand, if you download this, you're going to see what Francois Mackay presented at one of my conferences to paying members. Okay.
Right.
None of you are paying me, but you can watch.
Oh, they're not paying.
They should be. Everybody should be a Craig Proctor system member for sure. But okay, so it's a PowerPoint presentation that you use to present on stage to our top members.
Absolutely.
And I don't know whether there's 40 or 50
so
slides.
Now you're, like maybe next time I'll do a presentation and explain that. But just by the PowerPoint, they could see. They can figure out if they have any question. Also, people can call me, no problem. It's going to be my pleasure. But yes, I put everything together so we could like to every thoughts and every system that I use to recruit agents is there basically. And it's been a great tool for me now with some of my staff members, because now I got someone that's helping me, a recruiter, someone helping me to recruit. And so we're following actually this guide, because sometimes we're like, okay, we did that. What did we not do? Oh, we're going to look at the guide and, oh yeah, this we did not do for a while. So let's do that.
Right. So this is something you actually use to keep your own team organized.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. So you can, cherry pick anything you want in that manual, and to recruit new agent, existing agents, brand new agent, whatever. So for my real estate company now, since I'm I have these independent agents, so I'm working also on now experienced agents that are making a lot of money, that want to make more money, and to come and join us. So it's super fun. And I would say that you were talking about an hour call with you. I'm gonna go. I want to do that.
You should do that. Well, look, that's how Francois and I met way back when is he reached out and it all starts with a conversation, folks. Now, absolutely. If I'm watching this and I want to contact you, Francois, maybe I'm a real estate agent in the Montreal area. And of course, I've heard of who you are and I've been watching you. And maybe I'm thinking, you know what, maybe I should just, rather than compete with Francois and Mackay Group, maybe I should just pick up the phone and have a conversation. We think you should do that. If you're a bit curious to what Francois is all about, he will meet with you. It's just a conversation. It could be over the phone, it could be a Zoom meeting, or you can meet at his office in person. What would be the best way for a real estate agent? You don't have to be in Montreal. If you're watching this wherever in the world and you're inspired by Francois, you just want to say hi or verify his story.
Instagram.
Instagram. Follow Francois on Instagram.
Yeah, it's Frank Mackay on Instagram. And follow me on Instagram, because I publish a lot there, and it goes to my Facebook page, which is François Mackay and Frank Mackay on Instagram. And I got many people reaching out to me now on Instagram. So I'm using it as, I'm speaking with people on Instagram. So it's going really well. So if you want to reach out to me on Instagram. It's going to be a pleasure.
Yeah. So follow Francois on Instagram. You can message him through there. Of course, you can Google him, get his phone number, reach him that way as well. Remember, you can book a call with me at proctorcall.com. And then we have a link in the comments below where you can download the presentation that Francois gave to my top members,
right?
Okay, who paid dearly for it. We're going to give it to you. It's on how to build your team, how to recruit, hire, train, how to organize it all. You'll download it. It's very valuable. You should all download it and check it out. So Francois, I want to thank you very much for doing this. It's always great talking to you, buddy. It's always great catching up. I love your enthusiasm. Love everything that you bring to the Craig Proctor system here. You're always one to share. You've always, even when things weren't going well, nobody would ever know. You're always positive and outgoing, and that attitude is so important. So I want to thank you so much for being on the Craig Proctor Real Estate Show today. We'll get you back here again as you keep hunting down those 2,000 transactions.
Excellent.
And we'll keep getting you back here for updates. So thank you so much for doing this. Francois Mackay in the Montreal area, one of the top real estate agents in Canada. Thank you.
Thank you,
that's
Craig.
it.
Thank you
That's it for today. Thank you for watching.